book friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Paula, and in today's video we are going to do the BookTube Newbie Tag. If you're new to the channel, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button down below, join the book fam. If you are a returning subscriber, I am so happy to have you back. Thank you for joining me again. So the BookTube Newbie Tag was created to kind of help us BookTube newbies introduce ourselves to you guys. So I'm super excited to go ahead and go through these questions. I've looked at a couple of them ahead of time, most of them I haven't, so let's just jump right into it. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? So I started my BookTube channel because I just wanted a place to talk about the books that I love. I have a Bookstagram and a Book Talk. I talk about my favorite books on there as well, but I just wanted a place where I could chat for even longer about my favorite books. So that's why I've wanted to start a YouTube channel for a really long time, but I've never really had a niche that I wanted to do until the last couple months when I've really dived into the book world, and here we are. I have a BookTube channel now. So yeah, I started it basically so I could chat about my books even more. Question number 2 is, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to YouTube? To be honest, I think just my view on books, my thoughts on my books. I don't know if there's anything like fun or unique specifically that I can think of off the top of my head. But I think just my opinions on books, on authors, on characters. I've got a couple fun videos planned, so maybe that. But yeah, there's nothing super fun or unique about me. I'm just here to talk about books, that's all. Question number 3 is, what are you most excited about for this channel? I am excited to talk about authors that I have not heard enough people talk about. I've got a couple of those kind of on my list. I've got a couple author deep dives. I'm also really excited about connecting with just other people in the BookTube community. I've seen a lot of people make some amazing friendships. I've made amazing friendships through Book Talk and Bookstagram as well, so I know BookTube is gonna be no different. But I'm really excited to make connections with other people who enjoy reading books just as much as me. Question number 4 is, why do you love reading? And to be honest, it allows me to live lives that I would never get to live in my real life. Like, for example, the Dirty Air series. I'm never gonna get the chance to travel around the F1 circuit and vlog it. I can manifest that all I want. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I'm never gonna be able to join the inner circle at a bar. It allows me to live these crazy stories and live in these worlds that I would never be able to live in real life. Next question is, what book or series got you into reading? These puppies right here. I know a lot of people can thank ACOTAR for getting them into reading or opening their eyes to maybe the fantasy genre. Up until the end of 2020, I wasn't really a reader. And then a friend that I had told me that if I wanted to start reading fantasy books, because I hadn't read any before other than a couple Harry Potter books, she suggested A Court of Thorns and Roses. And so I was like, okay, sure. And then she told me it was a very loose sort of Beauty and the Beast retelling, which is my favorite fairy tale of all time. I have this beautiful thing. So I was like, sure, yeah, that's gonna pull me in. And lo and behold, I'm obsessed with the series like a lot of other people are. Pretty typical answer for a lot of people, I think, but A Court of Thorns and Roses series was what got me back into reading. The next question is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktuber? I honestly have no idea what I would ask them. I mean, maybe their advice on having a BookTube channel. My first thought was like their favorite books, but they tend to talk about that anyway. So I guess my answer would be, I guess, any advice that they have for any of us newbies on BookTube. The next question is, what challenges in starting a BookTube channel do you think are gonna be the hardest to overcome? Mine is most definitely gonna be the time to schedule out filming and then editing. I have a full-time job. I luckily don't have any kids, so that doesn't take up a lot of my time, but I do work a full-time job, so that takes up a lot of my time. And yeah, I think is really just gonna be scheduling and remembering to film videos ahead of time. The next question is, when did you start reading? I used to read a lot as a kid. My favorite books to read were like The Magic Tree House, Series of Unfortunate Events, things like that. But as an adult, I started reading again at the end of 2020. I think a lot of us started reading again in and around 2020 when, you know, the world shut down. But I really got into it at the beginning of 2021 when I read A Court of Thorns and Roses. I read a couple books at the end of 2020, but January of 2021 was when it really took off and I started reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I've been reading books nonstop since. Next question is, where do you read? So my three main spots that I read are my couch. I've got like an L-shaped couch that has a little lounge section, so I sit there. My bed is quite comfy, so I sit in there as well. And then when it's nice outside, I sit out on my balcony. My cat comes outside with me and we just kind of enjoy the nice weather. I live in Canada, so nice weather doesn't exist for very long here. In like 2 months, we'll have snow again. So I try and sit outside whenever I possibly can. Next question is, what kind of books do you like to read? This entire shelf is romance books, if that gives you any information about the books I like to read. I do like reading fantasy books. I haven't read a lot of them lately. I need to get back into those. But romance really has just been pulling me in. I've started getting into dark and taboo romances, which are quite fun. Sports romances, small town romance, really anything romance based is my go-to for reading. And the last question is, what does your book collection look like? This is pretty much it. I've just got these 2 bookshelves. My Kindle has quite a few books as well. I do use my Kindle quite often, but this is pretty much what I've got. I've got my Sarah J. Maas shelf, so I've got all of her books up here. I've got more fantasies down here, a couple more down the shelf, and then all of my romance books are here. There's 3 shelves as well. So that's pretty much all I've got. I would love something bigger, but I do live in a fairly small apartment, so I don't have a lot of space for books, but we'll get there eventually. But yeah, I'm excited to grow this collection for sure. So those are all the questions for the Book Talk Newbie Tag. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave a like and a comment down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!